Hi everyone, Big Mac here. Welcome back to Let's Play Yoshi's Story for the N64. We're now on page 4, the jungle. We're actually going to go into stage 4-2, the jungle puddle. So what are we going to have in store for us? Well, as it implies, there's a little bit of water going on here. So let's choose our Yoshi and get going. So this level actually has a bit of components that are both above the water and underneath the water. If you haven't swum before in this game, the controls are really easy. In fact, it even mentions it here just for you guys. So, of course, there are two main parts of this stage. This first part, Yoshi will be going above and below the water a lot. And the second part, it's mostly going to be above the water, right? Because you're really not going to want to go underneath the water very much. Of course, here in this first part of the stage, the first happy heart was very easy for us to find. And there are these eels that are swimming around. Eating them will restore Yoshi's health a little bit, but of course if Yoshi gets hit by them, he will get hurt as well. So that is just something to be mindful of. Here's Miss Warp number 1 right here at the very beginning. You can go ahead and hit her if you, or jump on her if you want. Since she is so close to the beginning of the stage, it really doesn't matter too much though. Those prickly pear type looking creatures, or those prickly pear fruits, those are actually bad for Yoshis. They have the same kind of behavior as peppers do. So you do not want to touch them, or you do not want to eat them. To activate, or to make that particular melon appear that just came up a little while ago, there were those 3 coins. You have to get the coin on the left, you have to get the coin on the right, and then that'll make the one in the middle appear. Of course, there are plenty of other things to coins and other melons for things to ways to make things appear at this point. Here we have again you may have seen the thing where you have to collect 5 stars in order to activate the melon. We'll actually have 2 of those in this level. And like I mentioned before, it's good to be checking above and below the water as you progress through this part of the stage. Here we have 3 mystery boxes. Of course, we know push 2 together to make melons appear, but with 3, it turns out that in this situation you have to ground pound on the middle one and then push the 2 outer boxes together. That enables us to get all 3 possible melons, and now that we've got 6 fruits in a row, or 6 of the same fruit in a row, we can actually go ahead and get our little happy heart like we've already seen before. And there's actually a whole trail of coins that appear for us. Again, coins aren't very important in terms of score, or, not that they count as 1-ups or anything, but they are kind of cool when they all pop up in one spot, so you can just easily grab them. Oh, you see right there eating one of the prickly pear fruits is not good for Yoshi's health. Back there we jumped on Ms. Warp number 2, and in fact there was a flower by Ms. Warp number 2. So even if you have to start in another part of the level, just really quickly warp back to Ms. Warp number 2. That way you can refill your health really quickly. And in fact, I do have to use that once in this episode. Here's a switch where that opens up a bunch of coins, and then down here, a melon also appears when you hit the switch. It's not important, it's not necessary for you to collect all of the coins or anything like that, but if you want to, they're all for the taking. So like I mentioned before, Miss Warp number 2 is probably the most important one in this game, just because it has the flower right there next to her, so that you can use it to replenish your health if necessary. Because Big Blurp is around. So, I'm thinking particularly of Mario 3, where you have the fish that jumps out of the water and tries to eat you. That's Big Blurp in this game. Unfortunately, I think I'm already foreboding a bit too much, but you see, Big Blurp follows us, jumps out of the water, tries to eat us. It's not good. Fortunately, we had this whole row of coins that are, because we found the next little happy heart, and so that makes things a little easier for us to follow our path, but we missed a lot of things along the way. There's also this blue blurp fish. I'm not sure if it has an actual name or not, but we have that blue blurp that will actually spit water out at us. So instead of jumping out, it just spits the water at us. So of course Yoshi here has these 2 mystery blocks and gets eaten. So I went ahead and got a red Yoshi, started back in Miss Warp number 2 to refill all of my health, and we're now back at this point where again, hopefully Yoshi will be able to, put the 2 boxes together and avoid being eaten by Big Blurp this time. Alright, looks so far so good, doesn't it? Of course, you have to be very careful because you're not sure when exactly that thing's going to jump, and when it does, you better not be in its way. There's other box over here. I wasn't going to deal with it, but since we had already lost the Yoshi, inside here is actually our white Shy Guy. So again, remember that if you have lost a Yoshi already in the stage, the white Shy Guy will count as a 1-up as long as you keep it all the way to the end of the stage. As long as you finish the stage with that white Shy Guy. Here we actually went down into a pipe and then activated, or we found another stacking game for us to play. This one, I'll admit, this one's pretty delicate. You gotta be very careful with this game because you actually have to jump upwards in order to reach the end. So there are these little steps here. The best way to do it is just take it one little step at a time. If your tower starts falling off to the left, go ahead and just walk back to the left. You won't fall in between the little blocks. So just, keep your balance. This is probably the best run that I had out of all my tries with it. I would not recommend trying to, jump two places or jump two blocks at a time. Just do it once at a time, little hops, little hops, little hops. If you fall down, you should be able to recover your stack and then try again. So of course we found our hidden letter for this level. It was an R. So again, if you're keeping track of all these hidden letters, you may want to note that down. Surprisingly, where we got dropped off right now and where we took the pipe, there are actually no melons in between, so there's no need to backtrack like you may have had to in other levels. Here's a little happy heart for us to collect. That way we become super awesome happy, and we can have our infinite ammo and not get hurt. Of course, this blue blurp's water spout is going to keep bugging us. If you're in the middle of a jump, it will knock you out of the jump. If you're in the middle of a ground pound, it will knock you out of the ground pound. Whoa! And there's Big Blurp again trying to attack us. Of course, you can still be eaten by Big Blurp even when you are in super happy mode, so you do have to be careful about that. However, we only have 5 melons to go. Of course, we are short a Yoshi. We've already lost a Yoshi, so we do have to be very careful with this game, or with this particular level. But we found a white Shy Guy that'll help us replenish. What's going on here? There was a mystery block for pushing. I would actually recommend going back to the left and then making sure that the Big Blurp is following you. Because I've noticed that if you jump in this area, that's what causes the blurps to pop up and start attacking you. You just keep pushing it along the bottom, they tend to not do anything until after you're done pushing the big block. And I would recommend pushing the blocks from left to right instead of right to left. So, unfortunately, you can also get eaten by the blue blurp if you just happen to accidentally land in its lips, which, admittedly, I did way too often. I just accidentally landed on its lips, and it was like, oh, I ate you. That was a surprise. So anyway, we just have one more melon to go, but we're pretty close to Miss Warp number 4. Is it possible that we missed one? In fact, there it is. No, we can just get it. Yes! So of course, with the white Shy Guy, I will be able to recover that Yoshi that I had just lost. Nicely done, Yoshi. So of course, with the full 30 fruits and collecting a lot of coins, that definitely helped our score in this particular level. Again, I'm just keeping the scores in for prosperity's sake. Feel free to ignore this part. Let's go ahead and read a chapter from the storybook. The jungle lake was swimming with hungry fish called blurps. The blurps would swim and jump, but mostly they liked to eat and eat. The Yoshis didn't want to become fish bait, so they quickly swam away. The page turned, and the Yoshis grew happier. So welcome now to, in fact, page 5, the ocean? Is that what it's called? I believe so. Yes. So go ahead and choose your stage. Until then, this is Big Mac saying, thank you for watching. I'll see you later.